Today we are going to discuss about Seaman effect. So this is actually the second example of degenerate perturbation theory. So our context is to explore perturbation theory, not to discuss the Seaman effect in a complete form. So this is actually you will be doing in atomic and molecular physics. So right now we just have to get familiar with the real applications of perturbation theory, and that is the context of our discussion. Okay, so what I'm telling is in the last we have seen Seaman effect already, and in that case we haven't discussed the hydrogen atom completely. We have excluded the spin discussion. So we call that as normal Seaman effect. Seaman effect. Spin excluded. Here again we have to we will include the spin and discuss the entire section, but when you are including the spin, as you know, there will be spin orbital interaction, and that will cause some sort of a additional perturbation in the hydrogen atom. And also there are other forms of correction like relativistic correction for the hydrogen atom. So when you are really discussing the Seaman effect, when you have to put the complete information of the hydrogen atom, that means the prescription of our hydrogen atom has to be complete once you are before you are putting into the magnetic field, right? So then you can follow what and all sort of changes are there in the presence of the magnetic field. What sort of splitting is there in the hydrogen atom when you are putting it in the magnetic field. So we know our discussion of hydrogen atom itself is not complete. So far we excluded the spin and discussed. So now what we have to do is we have to modify our Hamiltonian still more by incorporating such sort of correction. That means our prescription of hydrogen atom before introducing into the magnetic field itself has to be in a complete form. So that also we will be doing actually in the by using the perturbation analysis. So anyway, that is not included in your syllabus part, so we can just take the result and we will discuss the perturbation part when we are introducing that hydrogen atom into the magnetic field. So Seaman effect only we need to discuss. Remaining thing I will take the expression directly. So if you want to see those discussion, you can follow that. The discussion is there in certainly or any atomic and molecular books as well. Okay, so the Hamiltonian of hydrogen atom that we are familiar is H0. This is a generic form. Our non-Hamiltonian p square by 2m minus a potential term which is E square divided by R. Okay, in Gaussian unit. Okay, this is the unperturbed Hamiltonian for us. Now to complete the description of hydrogen atom, I will add another correction component. When I am introducing the spin, I have to introduce a correction. That correction I called as HSO, that is orbital motion is already there, so there is an interaction between orbital and spin angular momentum, and that whatever sort of energy is associated with that will be under the influence of this particular operator H cap SO. Okay, and another sort of correction which is a relativistic correction H cap relativistic. So these all both of these components are compared to this, it is smaller. So you can treat always this as a perturbation to this entire thing, and we can use the perturbation analysis and find out the first order energy correction associated with this quantity and this quantity. The thing is that we are not doing that, we will take the final value, that's it. So together this is called hyperfine structure of hydrogen atom. By incorporating these two things, we call the entire thing as hyper, no, sorry, not hyper, it's fine structure of hydrogen atom. Okay, so yeah, together I can, if I know this part, I can write that as Hamiltonian H fine structure like HFS. All right, so that is the correction of the entire Hamiltonian. So this entire equation is our hydrogen atom equation without the application of our magnetic field. Now what we have to do is we have to introduce the hydrogen atom into the magnetic field. Okay, all right, I didn't so okay, I'll just write the expression of corresponding energy. So our En, with this correction, our En energy correction is going to be first with the unperturbed term, this is nothing but En0, and with the correction, the entire energy, the final energy I am writing with the hyper fine structure kind of, which include both the corrections. So that is going to be En0 into 1 plus alpha square divided by 4n square into 4n divided by j plus half minus 3. So this is the expression with the incorporation of these two correction, and I am not doing that. Okay, so this is our En energy correction of our hydrogen atom. Now we have to put the hydrogen atom into our magnetic field, and I, as discussed in the previous case, we will take the magnetic field only along z direction. So yeah, this is my z direction. I am magnetic field is along z direction, it is having a bz component only, or b is equal to bz into z cap. That is my magnetic field, and I am introducing the hydrogen atom here. This is my hydrogen atom plus, it's having an electron revolving outside. Okay, once I introduce the hydrogen atom into the magnetic field, energy levels are splitting, and in the form of energy, you know what sort of an interaction energy is being produced here. So we are putting the see, associated with our orbital angular momentum, there is an orbital magnetic moment, and that will interact with the external magnetic field. Associated with the spin, we have magnetic moment corresponding to that spin, and that will be having an interaction with this component. So we have to put those information, and the interaction energy is generally will be written like if it is due to the magnetic field, the interaction energy is nothing but mu L into, this is going to be the interaction energy. Similarly, okay, it's minus, and mu s into b associated with spin. Okay, this is going to be the change in the energy form. So you know what is this mu L, you know what is this mu s. We know how to that relationship you already may be knowing. This is nothing but E by 2m into angular momentum in as a unit. In our Gaussian unit, it will come E by 2mc, like that. And similarly here also E by 2mc, E by 2mc, yeah, E by 2mc into s, and one g factor will come in addition here when you're putting the quantum mechanical. Okay, this is actually the entire equation is being you can just make it from our classical picture and then put the a g factor as a quantum mechanical correction into it. So that is the way you derive it. Or to just show you, let's say, okay, this is a hydrogen atom and electron is revolving around that in this direction, let's say. So if the electron is rotating in this direction, in the opposite direction you have a current. So it's a current carrying coil, current carrying circular coil kind of. So you know what is going to be the what magnetic moment mu associated with that. That is nothing but your current into area. Current is nothing but here it's charged by time, right? So charge is nothing but E divided by time. Okay, let us take the entire path as circular, so that is nothing but 2 pi r divided by the velocity of it. That velocity will come on top, and this is the pi r square term, right? Area is pi r square. So what you have is r and r cancelled, pi and pi cancelled. What is remaining is E by 2. I just multiply it with an m and divide it with an m. So on top I will be having mvr, and this is nothing but your angular momentum. This is the expression that you are arriving here, and same form of expression we are taking for spin also. And also when you put the quantum mechanical correction, you have an additional gs factor in front of this mu s when you are putting the interaction energy term, and here gl will be there. Gl is 1, so that, and gs is 2, so this 2 will not be there. Okay, gs is going to be 2 and gl is 1, and you will put that information on that. Now in our interaction here we have once you substitute this quantity E by 2 mcl dot b, it's a dot product, and our magnetic field is only having a z component. So the term will contribute only for it's a dot product that will be having a component only when your angular momentum is having or the z component of angular momentum only contribute to this term. Similarly here z component of spin and spin only will be contributing. So you can write it in the operator form, like the correction. So what sort of correction is happening there? That is h cap associated with our Zeeman splitting, or when you are introducing into the magnetic field. So this is going to be one mu will be there. I am putting the value of GSL along with that. So this is going to be E by 2 mc is there, and L multiplied with B. Okay, so that BZ is there, and LZ. So I'm not doing the exact complete process. We have taken the dot product, and we'll be having only the LZ component here, and LZ is an operator as we have written it in the operator form here. So BZ LZ plus another term will be multiplied with the 2 factors. So yeah, Okay, I can write the E by 2m commonly outside. If I do that, E by 2 mc. Okay, I want to take it like that, so I'm just putting a number here, g 2 bz into sz cap divided by 2mc. So this is a interaction term, and I can just modify that expression slightly into minus e divided by, okay, this is also minus only, e by 2mc multiplied with the bz lz mc bz lz. Bz is also common, you can take it outside, bz. So this is nothing but lz cap plus 2sz cap. So this is the kind of perturbation term that we have when you are introducing the hydrogen atom into this magnetic field. Okay, so we have done our calculation of H cap, that interaction Hamiltonian term. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to, okay, our Hamiltonian, complete Hamiltonian is nothing but H is nothing but H naught plus, I'll write the another term as H fine structure, one correction term, and another term, the interaction term in magnetic field is Hz cap. So this is going to be the complete Hamiltonian of the real case that we have to solve when you are in the magnetic field. Okay, now how do we solve this? So there is two perturbing terms, right? Perturbation terms. Okay, right now our context is to understand only the Siemens splitting. So the way to proceed is, suppose we are having a very strong magnetic field, or magnetic field is very strong, then which perturbation component is going to have more role on this Hamiltonian? So obviously this will be more compared to this term. Okay, I'm not comparing it with H naught, that is still higher than this quantity. That's the reason we are applying the perturbation theory. But compared to this term, this quantity is going to dominate when you are having a strong magnetic field. So we'll discuss the case when you are introducing the hydrogen atom into a strong magnetic field. Okay.